Should we start this off some way, I guess?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have NASAYA here with us today, breaking down a couple tracks from his newest EP, released on Foreign Family. He's been playing this out in his live show. He's been on tour with Odessa, has been an amazing ghost producer on so many tracks. We're just so excited to have him here to break down some of his music and production techniques. Teo, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Sean. Thank you for having me.
So what track do you want to go into first?
I mean, I have RêVES open right now, so I guess let's just get started with this one. Yeah, that's the base of the song, I guess. I started this idea a really long time ago. I wrote the main loop with my friend François when I was living in Paris, and it comes from this thing. But we chopped it and it just became this.
So cool. How'd you create that little is that like a tape automation?
I think it's here in the clip. You can pitch bend.
Oh, you pitch bend it.
Yeah, so I could do the opposite, cool. Or actually that's pretty cool. I wish I did that instead. You could do oh wow. Well, this is why I don't open sessions, because I'm what did I do?
Hold on, let's re-release it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it out there.
Anyways, that's the bass loop. And then we sampled some vocals from Maro. The original key is this. 'Cause I got nothing I have or I want or I wish to say. But now it sounds like this.
Do you chop up your stuff in Ableton, or do you put it to a machine or something?
I always do it in Ableton. So what I do usually, I just drag a loop here in the simpler, and then you slice it like that. I mean, let's say I can reverse that. I just play on the keyboard.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool actually, because if you just put an arpeggiator. I mean,
that's super cool. And you just playing that on your MIDI keyboard then?
You can do it on your computer keyboard. That's usually what I do. I'm lazy, so I don't want to go all over there and
Yeah.
And so I'm just looping that sample and adding some drums. The main loop sounds like this. And then I can just use this transient thing that makes it tighter. You can do that too. Yeah. And I can just do this. And the sample already has characters, you're resampling yourself. And I could even just rebounce that and use it as a new sample. But that's the main hi-hat sample.
I didn't realize there was the transient thing built into that sample.
That's my favorite thing about Ableton. And you can also do that. Let me just do it with the vocals, because you can make it tighter by the transient fine. So these ones that it automatically finds, or you can just do it with a rhythm. So every 16 notes. So you could just do
What? That's how you get that sound?
Yeah.
I always thought that was like a tremolator.
I can do it with like the Ableton Shaper or like an LFO, but I feel like it sounds
almost
better.
more organic though. Like,
yeah, it sounds better. And also because it's just like right there. Everything is just about like, how do I do this faster? I don't have the time. Actually, I do add this synthesizer. This thing.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
And this one too. This.
Ooh.
Which is the All for
Arnold's
the evolution.
All for Arnold strings are like, unbelievable. You just get that like little hiss. It
like
sounds
what
like
way? It sounds so good. So yeah, it's like just these synths like adding a little drama. And then a cool thing actually that I've used a lot on this like project is like put this plugin on the master, like a supermassive reverb, which is like a John Hopkins machine.
It's so funny seeing these sessions because listening to the song, I was like, oh, like how do you get that riser? Like,
yeah, there's no riser
sample that he used. I think that's why the song and your production has so much organicness to it, is that it feels like you're getting these effects from the actual samples themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like... It sounds like a riser. Honestly, this plugin is a bit of a cheat code. I just use it all the time now. And it's a free plugin actually. But yeah, so like that adds like a lot of momentum, and then I mean, it's just automated here. Cause like, yeah, cause like I added again here, so it's like, and then when the drop comes back, it's like pretty dry, and it's like it gives like more of a wow. A wow moment.
Why don't you break down just like piece by piece, like what's going on in the drop?
So after the very dramatic riser, it goes into this breakbeat thing. The kick pattern is just which I added this like breakbeat, like UK garage breakbeat thingy.
Ooh, yeah.
I wanted it to sound like more like hard hitting and like more intense. So like I added this snare sample. And the hi-hats too. There's this fun trick how to do this snare sound. I'm gonna try to see if I can remake it. If you put a vocoder on a snare, you have to automate everything, but like the foreman too.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, you can do like.
I always thought that was more of like a flange. Well, I've never seen it done with a vocoder before.
I ended up doing this with this sound.
Oh, cool. So
it was like a nice articulation to it. I don't know. I just think it sounds cool.
I always feel like with producers just get lazy and just be like, okay, cool, like repeat.
Yeah.
But your stuff always feels like it develops, or there's something different in there. There's always these little details that pop in and out.
I think that's the thing that takes the most time actually, is just like adding variation. I mean, a good example of that is Skrillex. It always changes, like every other bar. You almost don't know that it's changing, but subconsciously you're like, wow, I want to keep listening to this because there's like little things. But even like this like reverse hi-hat thing, it's not very high in the mix, but like if you listen to it like when you're looping, like it gives like a little cool variation thing to get away from the drums a little bit. There's like this thing. So it's a guitar that. So it's like a very shitty voice memo, but like I just reversed it. You pitch it 1 octave higher, you put some reverb. And then, I mean, there's a lot of processing, but like, it's like something like that. Like distorted. Obviously, like you need to EQ that. And at the end, I ended up with But yeah,
That is wild.
actually, like, I spent so much time trying to mix that sound in. Like, now it's just the mix stem.
I just can't believe that came off a voice memo.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many times where I was like, should I just re-record and like do it again? But like, I like the sound of this thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's another case of laziness.
I was wondering about that though. Sometimes I do think like there's a subconscious thing that comes from your iPhone. Like so many of my favorite samples are just straight up from the iPhone.
So, like, I'm just like playing it on my couch, and sometimes like a first take is always better.
Teo, this track is just unbelievable. I mean, there's things that I've heard but had no idea how they were actually made. Can you just quickly play that final drop one more time for us so we can just hear the whole thing with everything on?
Yeah, the first drop, yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible. Hopefully for all of those listening and watching can get some inspiration from NASAYA, aka Teo.
Well, thank you so much.
If you haven't heard NASAYA, or you're just finding NASAYA for the first time through this, please check out his pages. We got links below, links anywhere, up here, down here, I don't know. There's links, there's gonna be things to subscribe, I assume, maybe over here, maybe over here, to check out his stuff, catch him on tour, follow him on all the places you follow people at. So NASAYA, again, thank you so much for taking the time today, and excited for also the next project that happens.
Yes, thanks so much.